So we often say we take companies from obscurity to market dominance. A lot of times, these manufacturing companies live in obscurity. You know, the common thing that I've heard after the last 17 plus years of working with manufacturing companies, you sit across the table from a CEO. He says, "We are the best kept secret in our industry. If only more people knew we existed, we will be killing it, right? Like we will be the business leader." What they're actually saying is, no one has heard of us. We have great
Mhm.
product. We have great promise. We keep our word. We do a great job. All of those things are really, really true. And I feel for these guys, right? Because I really do feel for them, but they just haven't invested into improving their overall visibility, right? And getting their word out. And then the fact of the matter is, right, these people spend so much energy and enthusiasm on the back office perfection. Like they would go spend money on creating
Yeah.
efficient process for operation efficiency, maybe even installing robots and better quality assurance process and everything else that they will do, but they won't spend that same energy in the front office side. Well, how do we know? Are we tracking the right metrics? Do we have a process to optimize our sales and our marketing efforts? Do we know the number of leads that come in? They know exactly the number of unit comes out on the other end of the machine. They know how many parts they can produce in an hour. They know
Yep.
all of that, but they don't have that same sort of a perception of the front office. Do I have every morning when I come in a certain number of leads coming through the door that I know a percentage of them are qualified to buy for me? I know a certain percentage of them are going to turn into business in the next 30 to 60 to 90 days. I know what the average order value is going to be like. I know what the profitability is going to be like. So I can almost see, right, as a machine running on the front office just as much as I do have it in the back office, right? So to give you a story, right, this is an industrial flooring company that came to us several years back. When they came to us, they had the best product, right? Most of these manufacturing companies are really good at what they do. They have good products. But the fact of the matter is they relied heavily on their contractors that are doing the flooring business to come to them with a project and buy the material to actually sell their products. So they were relying
Mhm.
on these technically independent sales reps to drive the revenue, and they had literally no control on their sales. So they said this is not a sustainable business model because contractors are not the best when it comes to selling. They go for the cheapest product supplier and they're going to go try to cut corners and try to win a
Mhm.
deal. And they're not thinking about this supplier, this particular supplier who has better materials, but they're just not preferring them because they were more expensive and they were losing deals. So our clients said that there's got to be a better way. And they came to us and said, we don't know what the solution is. We need a strategy to approach this problem. Our recommendation was, well, here's the challenge. You are relying on the leads to be generated by your contractor and coming to you with a project. You need to change this entirely. We need to be the one driving the lead gen side of it. We need to funnel the leads to our contractors. We need to monitor the success rate of those contractors and see who is good at selling, who's good at what type of projects. And depending on the size and scale of those projects, feed the leads to the right contractor who's capable of doing. And when they don't buy from you, you can keep them accountable and say, hey, Mr. Contractor, I gave you a 4 million square foot a warehouse project 3 months ago. You did not close the deal. What happened? No, we did do the job. Oh, where did you go? Oh, I went to a cheaper supplier. Now all of a sudden you're controlling that narrative and you are in charge of the sales process. So this manufacturer, we were able to completely change the game. We started optimizing and creating content,
Nice.
promoting them. They became the industry leader when you looked for anything to do with the industry of flooring solutions and every possible scenario and questions that you can ask.
Yeah.
Look what happened. A major player in the marketplace, which is a very, very recognizable public company, took note of this small little manufacturing supplier in the Chicagoland area and said, well, these guys know something that they're doing that we're not doing. We're a big giant, but we haven't figured out how to do this. Maybe we just buy them out and see what they're doing. So that's essentially what happened, right? So now you have a public company who has the money to come and give you value that you didn't even expect because you had a system and a process in place that was working like a clockwork when even when the owner was sleeping. So
Yeah.
that is the beauty of having a system to build a predictable way to drive new customers.